What up? What up? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. And yesterday, overall, I had a 1-in-1 day. The best bet that we used for the show, Nurkic over 8.5 rebounds. That was a rather easy cash. I think it cashed about midway through the second quarter. But the Lakers plus 5 points was my 5% play, and that one did not win. So look to bounce back as far as that's concerned. Hopefully, provide another best bet winner for the show. But a lot of NBA games today, a lot to choose from. There are a few that I really, really like, and there's some more that I'm really looking forward to talk out with you guys. So we'll get to it. Ryan in the chat said he's ready to make some money. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Rick White, what's up? And Brian Lopez, appreciate you tuning in. If you guys are on Spaces and you prefer to watch on YouTube, we are live, and I did tweet out the link on my timeline. So, with that said, I don't see the usual suspects in here as far as people to help cap the games. So I'll just go through the games one by one myself. And if you would like to try to come up and help cap the games, feel free to hit the request button, and I'll do my best to get as many people um, who have an opinion up here. So, and I see I do have one. I'll add it in 1 second. Let me open up the first game here. We'll go in rotation order. And shout out my guy Razor. He says, shot time on my show right now, but got to show some love. Let's have an NBA season. Appreciate you tuning in, Razor. I wish I had me a shot glass ready, but I'll get the party started after the show. I'll come over there and join you, and we'll do it how we usually do. So, like I said, rotation order. Let's start with 505, 506. That's going to be Atlanta Hawks going into Charlotte to face the Hornets. This game opened Hawks -1.5. It is now pretty much 3.5 everywhere. Total open 233, and it's as high as 236. When we look at the injury report, I see Wesley Matthews out for Atlanta. Nobody else for that side. For Charlotte, Frank Ntilikina, I always have trouble saying his name. He's out. Cody Martin is out. We know Miles Bridges is not going to be playing anytime soon, or he's not playing right now. Night out, and McGowan's game time decision. So, like I said yesterday, we don't have a lot of numbers, don't have a lot to go by as far as my usual everyday process handicapping NBA. So we go a little bit more off gut feeling and just what we know these teams to be while we start. And I'll just start with the Hornets team because I don't have a lot of good things to say about them. I know they got a new coach. They did not like Borrego. Maybe they'll come to play for this new coach. Um, Still no Miles Bridges, like I said, and I just think that's a really big deal because he's one of their main scorers. And this is still a bottom five team from last year. And I just don't see a whole lot that they did to get better. So it's a team who's been in the news for all the wrong reasons over the offseason. I don't really have any motivation to going back the Hornets. When I look at the Hawks team, I feel like, and I talked about them on Wedger Talk today yesterday, so you might hear a little bit of the same, but I feel like it's really addition by subtraction to start with John Collins. Um, I call it a little bit of beef he had with Trey Young, and it just wasn't the place for him to be. He should have been moved last season, maybe even the season before. And now, Quinn Snyder was there last year. They got a full offseason to build chemistry and build off of what they were doing last year. With Quinn Snyder there, I just feel like the team is buying into what he's selling. Like you got more guys willing to play defense, and if you tell me that Trey Young is finally going to start playing off ball and not just standing around, like I mentioned it, he worked out all summer. He trained with Steph Curry's trainer. If he's moving off ball like Steph, I think that's really good for this Hawks team, not just for him, but it'll help, get other guys good looks whose offensive game isn't that ready yet. So I like that. Murray's already proven he can play with this Hawks team. He was an all-star last year. They're proven big men in Capella and Okongwu, good rebounding team. I just think that the Hawks are better. The one thing I don't like, this is a team that didn't have a winning record on the road the past couple years. But like I said, and also this was a team, during those past couple years, we've heard them say, I've heard Trey Young say that it's kind of boring to start the year. They just went to fast forward to the playoffs. I don't think they have that same mindset anymore, and I think Quinn Snyder is gonna have these guys playing really good. So I took the Hawks, and I told you guys yesterday's show to take them because I think the line's going to continue to go up. I bet the money line minus 135, and let me see where it currently is. I know the spread has gone up by 2 points. Money line is now minus 160, minus 157. You can get. I mean, I'll just say like this. I try to find reasons that I like to back these games. You can use this. I'll read this stat or this trend. So this one goes back to 1995. You can look at divisional row favorites. They're 20-9, 69% straight up. Um, divisional row favorites in game one, I believe it was. So 69%. If you look at a minus 160, the implied probability is probably like around a little bit below 62%. So it's still a little bit of an edge there. And if you didn't want to take it, you can also do something that I call the Skee line, where you cover, try to explain this correctly. You cover your spread bet with the money line bet. So if they win the game but don't cover, you don't lose any money. And you create, a better odds by putting them both together. So I'll put out, like, I'll do a video on the screen so that everybody will know for the season. But I like the Hawks in this game. That's what I'm trying to say. And let me take another look, see if anybody's here who wants to come up and help cap the card. Send out some invites, and then I'll look at the chat on YouTube. So JB Brown, he's not on this game. He likes the Kings though. Appreciate you. He also likes the Hawks minus 3.5. Says he puts a unit on there. Texas fight. I appreciate you tapping in. Says he's a big fan from Wager Talk. Rick White also leaning towards the Hawks. Says he's kind of scared of them on the road. I definitely understand that. G5 in the chat says, "Let's go Hawks. Start the year off right." Hank coming with the jokes early. And I appreciate you, JB. It's a lot of multitasking I have to do, and I got to get back in the rhythm of doing this. So appreciate you telling me to get the banner up there. KC says Hawks a sleeper this year, and I agree. I think they can compete with everybody in the East, and I'll be taking them here in game one. So we'll keep moving down the card. A lot of games for today. We'll go 507, 508. And wow, JB just reminded me. There we go. Let's get the banners. That is the Washington Wizards and the Indiana Pacers. This game opened Pacers minus 7.5. We now see 5 pretty much across the board. So market like in Washington here. Total open 231, and it's as high as 235.5. For the injury report, I see Davis out for Washington, Gill out, and Shamit out. For the Pacers, they do not have anybody on the injury report. I feel a few different ways about this game. Before I forget, or maybe I'll do the props last, but the first thing that comes to my mind when I see these two teams play is they're not going to play any defense. We know how Indiana was last year, up tempo. Hallie's running the show. I would definitely look at his assist. I didn't see the number just yet, but that was the direction that we went the past 2 years, really. And I will go that way again here. But I just really trust Indiana's offense led by him, and I don't think they'll play any defense. When you look at the opposite side, Washington doesn't have a whole lot of defenders over there, and we trust Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma to go get a bucket over everybody else. So I think this is a high-scoring game. I got in at 233.5. It's moved 2 points since that, and I would agree with the direction that it's moved. So that will be game number 2. As far as props for this game, just leans. I mean, I'm not going to be too high on props. I said something about Hallie, whether it's assist or points plus assist, and I would either look towards Jordan Poole on his points prop or Kyle Kuzma on his points prop. Let's take a look at what the chat has to say here. Rick White agrees. He says he's leaning Poole over 24.5 points. JB Brown likes a small play on the Pacers first half minus 3. Brett asking just what I said. Do we hop on Halliburton assist? if you guys can help me out with a number, just because I'm doing a lot of multitasking with both platforms. Brett says 10 and a half. I mean, that's not really a scary number. I've seen them surpass that plenty of times. I'm not running to the window to bet it just this second. What up, Dream? You liking that Hallie assist?
What's the vibes, man? I got you. Yeah, I didn't
And my bad, they said I was muted on YouTube. I apologize. I'm gonna get better at it. It's my second time doing both shows at the same time, so bear with me on that kind of stuff. But Dream, he agrees with Halliburton double double, and I'm liking the over in this game. Saturated says he's missed his Hallie assist, so a lot of people go in the same direction here. Volbeck's asking Miles Turner rebounds. Does Washington have any competent big to grab boards? Gafford, I'm not sure that I love Miles Turner's rebounds, and Blow likes Tyus Jones' assist as well. So and in the chat and YouTube, if you guys could let me know if the sound is fixed, I would appreciate it. So play for that game. I'm going over 233 and a half. Let's keep moving down the list. And next game up, we'll go Celtics at the New York Knicks. This game opened Boston minus 1.5. Another game that's moved about 2 points. We're looking at a consensus of minus 3.5 for them now. Total open 223 and a half. And hasn't moved too much. Consensus is 223. As far as the injury report is concerned, and let me hit the refresh button here because we did pass 10:30. Nobody on either team on the injury report. This one, I have a pretty good write up, and I might want to just read it out here, but I will read it out as a matter of fact. So, how I feel about this game or what I wrote down, Celtics, they took the preseason seriously. They use it as an opportunity to develop chemistry after major changes in the offseason. It's a lot of great individual talent on the roster, and it doesn't always mean they fit together, right? But for this Boston team, it looked like they fit pretty damn well to me. I know preseason is not always, the biggest indicator, but they went 4-1, and the only loss was the one on the back-to-back where their main stars didn't play. With the starting five of capable shooters on the floor, with a starting five of capable shooters, the floor is spread and defenders have to pick their poison. Tatum holds a lot of gravity on the court, and we all know how well both he and Brown can score the ball. As a result, the game becomes easier for Porzingis, as he stated multiple times. After their last game, I remember he was saying, obviously, it's just easy to play with those guys. And he says, I keep repeating myself, but they draw so much attention that I get wide open threes, wide open looks, and they find me and I just shoot them. It's really simple. And while I'm on that note, I think because of that, like he's going to be stretching the floor. I think he draws Mitchell Robinson away. And I'll probably look towards either Mitchell Robinson under his rebound prop or Porzingis over his 1.5 3-point prop. And then I'll continue here in this matchup. Mitchell Robinson, like I just mentioned, is going to have to respect him on the perimeter, leaving the paint wide open. Drew Holiday, he's a much better playmaker than Marcus Smart, and he's also good in the post. I've seen him a couple times already during the preseason just use his high IQ and passing ability to make plays for his teammates. And one of those games was versus the Knicks. We saw him down low versus DiVincenzo, as well as somebody else. And we've seen him shoot the gap whenever Tatum is doubled, and he's gonna make the right play. Similar to how when they double Steph, he drops it to Draymond, and Draymond makes the right play. And both of the times when I saw them do that, it resulted in open looks for three. So I like that, and I just think when you have a team with guards who can operate in the post and play make like that too, like Holiday can, and you have centers who can stretch the floor and knock down threes, it just makes it really tough to defend that team. You look at this Knicks team, um, they started off the preseason looking good, but they played that game versus Boston's backups, and the last three games of the preseason they lost. So in my mind, when I was looking at it, I just don't feel like they took them that seriously. And I mentioned earlier, preseason is not always the biggest indicator, but versus a Boston team who I feel like did take it seriously, did try to get their team going. I don't like that for the Knicks going into this first game. Couple other things, couple other flaws for this Knicks team. Knicks, not a great shooting team. Boston, a really great shooting team. And if they're knocking down those, those threes or those open looks, it's going to be hard for the Knicks to keep up. Second, when you look at this Knicks team, majority of these guys are 6'5" or smaller. 5 of their 9 rotation players, to be specific. You got 3 big men, and then the only odd one out is Barrett, but he's not even a great defender. So how are they going to defend Tatum and Brown? And if either one of them is doubled, I trust them to find the teammate, or I trust them to find the open shot, make the pass to the guys gonna make the pass to the open shot, or whatever the case is. And the Knicks last year didn't have good transition defense. From what I've seen so far, it didn't look like they've done anything to fix that. So I think Boston um, looks like the right side in this game. I think they start the season 1-0. Some people think it might take them some time to get going. I do not. Like I mentioned, if I'm taking props in this game, I'll be looking towards Porzingis over 1.5 3-pointers made, or I would be looking at Mitchell Robinson under his rebound prop. Dream, you got anything on Celtics versus Knicks?
Yeah, man, I agree with you with the side. I'm not on it, but I love that breakdown of the side. But kind of going with your analysis of Mitchell Robinson, I took Josh Hart over his rebounds, over 5.5 rebounds. I paid too much juice, -130, but it's actually -120 right now on DraftKings, so you can shop around. But I feel like Josh Hart can get 4 offensive rebounds in the game, and nobody would think twice. So I think the 5.5 is a generous number. And I played that, just assuming that, like you said, Mitchell Robinson to be on the perimeter a lot with KP, and even Al Horford, who's coming off the bench, will be out there having to chase them. So, yeah, give me the Josh Hart over 5.5 rebounds.
I like that play. He's a really good rebounder, and the way I'm looking at the game, it definitely lines up with that play. So you said 4.5 or 5.5? Okay, I'll keep that in mind, and maybe I'll join you on that. Couple more comments from the YouTube chat. Brett Kenny he loves Holiday over 4.5 rebounds. JB Brown is taking the Celtics -3. Otto says the Knicks was in the C's ass last year. It's a new year. We'll see. Boofer asking Knicks first half fades. I'm not looking at the first half specifically in this game. I know you do a really good job of charting out that stuff, Boofer, and I'll probably rely on you a little bit more um, than probably in the past, especially if I'll probably rely on you a little bit more. So not for me, Boofer. Javi likes Drew under 15.5 points. Um, let's see. Saturated says Porzingis will be great for the season until he goes down for the season. I don't want to wish injuries on anybody, but he is an injury-prone player. That is something that the Celtics need to avoid if they want to have success this year. A couple more comments. Appreciate you guys tapping in. I see you guys showing love in the chat. Appreciate all of you guys. Getting some hate from my Lakers. It's all good. They look terrible. They embarrassed me, embarrassed themselves yesterday. It is what it is. And last but not least, Jay says he likes Drew Holiday under 7.5 assists. Volbeck says the safest way to go is Boston money line, juicy but safe. So a lot of different ways, a lot of different things to like in this Boston versus New York game. Let's keep it going here. And I don't have extreme strong opinions on all the games because, like I said, I can't do my normal numbers just yet. But I'm gonna do my best to try to go through them and talk about it and find a little something of substance. Next game, 5-11, 5-12. And as always, if you guys want to come up and help cap the games, feel free to request. I'll do my best to get you guys on stage and we can cap it together. Next game up, 5-11, 5-12. Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets going into Orlando to face the Magic. Open Magic -3.5. We see them now as a 4.5 point favorite. Total open 223.5. And it's as low as 219.5 at circa. Let's take a look at the injury report here. For Houston, Eason is out, Oladipo out. For the Magic, Kevon Harris looks like he's going to be out. This is a new Rockets team over here, new coach. This is one of those games, like I said, I don't feel extremely strong. I do think with the new coach over there, he's going to get them to buy in a little bit more to the defensive end. I kind of got to see it to believe a little bit first. I don't want to bet on the Rockets just because I'm not a big believer in Dylan Brooks. I'm not a big believer in Fred VanVleet either. So I guess I lean towards the Magic. But again, this is not a game I'm going to play. And I just want to see how both of these teams are going to look out the gate. See some people in the chat trying to go back to Şengün. Eric Jones, first of all, says he got under at 223.5. Good job beating the line moving that one. Jay says he likes Şengün double-double. Saturated says Şengün for president. Şengün PRA is 27.5. His rebound prop is 9.5. Do I like either? I'll probably just go. I mean, you don't know what you're really going to get with all these new additions. I probably feel safest with the rebound prop. But Dream, anything you like in Houston versus Orlando?
Let me see. Houston, Orlando. No, I didn't make any plays for this game. Not at all. I'm just like you. I want to actually see what we got going forward with Houston. I wonder what Ime got cooking for them boys, but actually, I don't have no play. I don't even have no lean for that one. I guess in going over 3.5 assists, when I saw that, it stuck out to me as being too low, but it's super juice now, so I wouldn't even play that. So, nothing for me.
Yeah, 3.5 is an extremely low number. I agree with that. So, I'm gonna deep dive in some of these props a little bit more after the show, but at the end of the show too, I'll tell you which ones I think I like the most, and we'll see if I push the button by the time we get there. But I don't think Şengün will be one of them. So we'll keep going down the list. 5-13, 5-14, Cleveland Cavaliers heading into Brooklyn to take on the Nets. Let me change that banner. This one opened Cavs -1. We see the Cavs now -2. Total opened 221.5, and we've seen it drop as low as 218.5. As far as the injury report is concerned, for Cleveland, they'll be without Ricky Rubio. They'll be without Jared Allen. You have Dean Wade and Darius Garland, both game time decision. For the Nets, it looks like Whitehead is the only person who will be out. So I feel a couple of different ways about this game. Haven't got to the window yet, but I might. I personally just don't trust Cleveland without Jared Allen. I feel like I've seen that a few times. I don't have the numbers to back it up in front of me, but I don't like them without him there to protect the rim. So just that alone kind of shaves me off Cleveland. Then when you tell me Darius Garland is banged up too, and he could potentially be out, I don't see a whole lot to like for this Cavalier squad. But it does say Garland is likely. I'll give him that. He's likely. When I think about this Nets team, I think they can build off of what they did last year. After they, picked up those pieces on the trade deadline, now they've had some time to get through it together, go through training camp, et cetera, et cetera. And now you add in Ben Simmons, who looks a little bit more motivated, playing good basketball right now. I know it's just the preseason, but it's better than we've seen Ben Simmons in the past couple years. So I think this Nets team is live for their win total this year. I think this is a spot where I prefer the Nets at home plus versus the Cavaliers lane. And if I was going to look at player props, first thing that popped in my mind, I know my guy Razor just popped on the show. He went back to Mikal Bridges. I think it was his 3-point prop time and time again. He's probably going to be on it today. But for myself, when I hear Jared Allen's going to be out, it makes me want to think Evan Mobley rebounds over. But more than that, I like Ben Simmons rebounds plus assist prop. I think the last time I saw it earlier, it was 12 and a half juice, but I think it's 13 and a half now. And his last three preseason games, he's playing like low 20s in the minutes, and he had 15 rebounds plus assists. I feel like that's my most confident bet in this game if I was to make one. And I'm pretty likely to get to the window with Ben Simmons today. So, Dream, what you think about Ben Simmons? You think he'll turn around this season? You like him for his rebounds and assists tonight? And can I get you to like the Nets with me a little bit here?
I damn sure will like the Nets before I like Ben Simmons, man. I gotta see it, man. Ben has done me too many times. So hopefully he get it back. Because if you even get, 60% of what Ben Simmons used to be, you gotta love his rebounds and assists practically every night. So, yeah, I would be on the Nets before anything, just because of the uncertainty with the Cavs. They're working in a lot of new pieces. They did add some shooting last year. I mean, on the off season with Max Strus, who looked like he came in overweight, and George Niang. So yeah, but it's not like these guys are all-time great shooters. These are guys who could hit a few shots or could not hit a few shots. So I would lean Nets there. They got more of a cohesive unit. Look for Cam Thomas to maybe get a little more minutes, expand his role. But the only look that I actually put in was Nick Claxton over his 1.5 blocks at -115 on DraftKings. He averaged 2.5 blocks last year. His line got as high as 3.5 blocks at times last year. 2.5 blocks was where average for most of the season last year. So I think he gets off to a good start, gets a couple blocks tonight, and covers that 1.5. It's kind of an auto bet for me. It's a good number.
I feel like I heard this play. I don't really do a whole lot of blocks props, but I want to say it was LJ who was betting this like consistently last season.
LJ from H-Town was on this a lot last year as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know that's a good one. I can't talk you off Claxton on his block prop tonight. And the more I think about it, Casey in the chest has Ben Simmons over 6.5 assists. I want to include those rebounds. No Jared Allen. There's going to be some rebounds to be had, in this matchup for tonight. So I'm pretty sure I get there with Simmons tonight. And I like your look on Claxton over 1.5 blocks as well. Jay says Cavs always tough to back on the road. EQ says Birds flying tonight, Hawks and Pelicans. KD, my boy from Athens, Greece. I appreciate you tapping in. Good to see you back on the show. And I did see another comment said it's good to have. They just said it's good to have the show back. Good to have me on the show. I appreciate you guys. It's good to be back doing this stuff with you. Blow says Sexy Red literally made a song about you, dog. Hey, if you see me in the club, I'll be going up too when the song come on, but we're not here for that right now. Um, let's keep going down the list in rotation order. The next one we will have will go 5-15, 5-16, Detroit and Miami. Uh, open Miami -10.5. It's down as low as, it's pretty much -9 everywhere. Total open 222, and I'm seeing 219 as a consensus number pretty much everywhere. And I apologize if you hear any outside noise. They're doing some construction on the place next door. But hopefully you guys don't hear it. It's not too loud. Injury report for this game. Bogdanovich out. Livers out. Monte Morris out for this Detroit squad. For Miami, Josh Richardson out and Highsmith out. This is a game that I do not feel very strongly about, so I'm not going to waste too much time here. But I just don't view Miami as the type of team where I want to expect them to win by double digits too much. Like, I just don't think their offense is that good to pull away. Maybe they do it on the defensive side, but Pistons, and again, this is just me off the top of my head. Pistons, they were pretty good as a sizable dog the past couple or maybe even few years, I want to say. So when you see them catching like close to double digits, I'm always leaning more towards the Pistons than laying it. So that's all I got for this one. I see a couple people in the chat and they are Skee. Brett likes Duran over 9.5 rebounds. Uh, S. Dot Warrior says Heat all day. First quarter Heat. Riley wants them to come out showing out. AOD says new blood Pistons. Coach Monty. And maybe he'll have them ready for tonight. And Keith, he's agreeing. He's agreeing with the rebound prop on Jalen Duran. So I'm gonna ask you, Dream. Do you think would you trust the Heat to win by double digits? And do you think Duran getting 10 rebounds is too much of a tough ask, or you like it?
Oh God, I gave Darren 8.5 out yesterday. They should follow me on Twitter, Mr. Dreamy. Yeah, so I love that 9.5, of course. And I couldn't talk you off his double double, which I gave out yesterday, 2 plus 190. I don't know what it is now. So yeah, love Darren. It's tough for me to get with the Heat, man, because I can see both. I can see both ways. Tyler Hero got a lot to prove after being on the trade market all off season. I think the Heat in general got a lot to prove because they didn't get Dame, so now a lot of people is acting like they done. But then again, you got Detroit, this young team getting much better. With Cade coming back, Jalen Duren a year stronger. I love Jalen Duren. And you got a new coach, Imani Williams, who's probably an upgrade from Casey. So, I don't have really no feeling on the side. That's the game I want to watch, but I did. I gave y'all, well, I said already I put in the Durham, but a number that's still available is Cade Cunningham. I love Cade Cunningham, man. To me, he's just a walking 25-5 guy. I was watching the Hoop Collective podcast over the summer with Brian Windhorst, and he was just raving. And a lot of people were raving about how Cade Cunningham was one of the best players in all of the USA basketball teams, so the select and the actual team that got sent out there and underperformed. So I expect Cade Cunningham to come out and have a really good season. And I think his PRA at 29.5 is too low. I played him to 31.5, to be honest.
All right, good stuff. Cade, I like Cade, so I don't want to talk you off of that prop. I heard you say Hero has something to prove. Couple people in the chat, S. Warrior likes Hero over his points prop. Another person, Sandra the Great, asking about that point prop. By chance, do you know what the number is? And you think you would agree with that?
The 19.5 or 20.5, and I definitely agree with that. I didn't play it, but I'm going to tell the homie Crispy Cap to get that out on my channel earlier, so I'm telling. But I didn't want to give it out like it was my play. So yeah, I'm telling that.
All right, good stuff. And I definitely rock with Chris. A great capper, great guy, and I trust him on his handicap. Let's see, we have another speaker here. What is this? Profitable bets? What's going on, bro? Or maybe that was an accident.
No, it wasn't an accident, bro. I took the plays I took today. I took Tyrese Halliburton PRA over, bro. 31.5. 35.5 is just, bro, it's too low, bro. And plus the Wizards defense is like it. Complete shitty. It's terrible. And I took the Blazers. I took the Blazers on the teaser, the 2-team teaser, plus 14. And I took the Heat all the way down to 4. Just like he was saying, like the Blazers, the Pistons got a young team. I still trust Miami. I just don't trust that 9. That 9 is just too much. It's too much. I think it's too much for the first home opener.
For sure. I appreciate you sharing. I definitely agree with the Halliburton look. I'm gonna be, I'm only here to help, and I'm gonna just give you my opinion, bro. You should not do teasers in basketball. The points are not worth as much as they're worth in football, and long term is just not the best proposition. Doesn't mean your bet won't win today, but just keep it in consideration moving forward. Boofer, appreciate you on YouTube saying hit the like button if you guys are enjoying the show. It helps me out quite a bit if you guys can hit the like button and subscribe so you know whenever we're live. We do have another request before I get to some, or actually, let me look at a couple comments here and then get to this request because the comments are coming in. S. Warrior says hero season is upon us. Get his points while they're low now. 20.5. AOD says hero or nothing. No Max, no Vincent. Saying it's, it's his time right now. Rick White says J Money lean hero points over as well. Say Jimmy's gonna let hero cook. Eric Jones says Pistons 9-2 against the spread. spot as a 7 to 9.5 underdog coming off a loss over Eastern Conference Division opponents last 4 years. And that makes sense to me. That's just how I view this Pistons team when they're in that point spread, like I was talking about. AOD, I appreciate you reminding the people to hit the like button. Chris says, Skee, do you like any first half plays? I like to shorten these outcomes, not specifically right now in these games. Don't have any reason to just take the first half. A couple more comments before I get to this one. Premium picks like the under in the Hawks game. And Eric Jones says Heat on a 17-1 straight up spot, though. So we have a request here from Keith. Let Keith cook. What's going on, bro? Were you looking at something in this Miami Detroit game? You there, Keith? All right. Maybe having some issues, but let's see. Let's try again. You there, Keith? All right. Didn't work out. So I'm gonna try to keep it.
He got Hero as his profile. You know he won't say something.
Yeah, that's what it is. I know he's ready. He's probably liking that Hero over his point prop though, but we'll try to get him back when it's working out. Let's keep going. We still got damn, it's a lot of games today. 6 games left, and I'm not gonna have opinions on all of these, so I'm gonna try to go a little bit faster. We've already been on here for 37 minutes. I know guys don't want to talk all day. I mean, I'll talk all day if we can keep finding ways to make some money, but everybody doesn't want to stay on here for forever. So next game up, 5-17, 5-18, Minnesota Timberwolves heading into Toronto to take on the Raptors. This game opened Raptors -1. We see them now. I mean, it looks like it's a pick'em game. Total open 224.5, and it's looking like the consensus is 222.5. Some 222s out there as well. Injury report for this: McDaniel's out, Clark out for the Wolves, Coloco out for the Raptors. And this is one of those games where I don't feel really strong about. You know, the Wolves are a team over the past few years. I don't really bet them a lot. I don't bet a whole lot of their games. I just don't have the best read on them. And really, same can be said for this Raptors. So they're playing each other. I'm probably just gonna stay on the sideline. If I had to play, I don't even want to lead you guys in the wrong direction. You know, I'm gonna try to give you guys good information and not just information just to give it. So I apologize for even wasting your time on that much. Dream, did you like this game at all?
Nah, how y'all say backwood? No,
Yeah,
no, I don't want no parts of this shit.
yeah, I'm with you. I forgot all about the backwood. It's been a minute. um, let's see the comments. Sandro the Great says, "Give me the Wolves." Eric Jones likes the over. This play I agree with. Now this you reminded me. Brett says his best bet is Scotty over his point rebounds assists of 27.5. I did see that their coach was saying, you know, they want to build around him. They want him to be the focal point. So if you're looking at that, and I feel like he was playing really good last year. I think that, you know, betting on the game to be played through him is a good bet, or at least that's the one that I'll be making if I was playing this game. So I agree with Brett. I agree with Brett on that. Um, Couple more comments. Let's keep going. S. Warrior says Carl Anthony Towns is the reason you stay away from the Wolves. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I think he's soft, and I just don't trust him with my money. Sandro the Great says Edwards over assist. Now this play, I would need to know the number, but I'll tell you. Last year, was it Coach Finch? He uh he was challenging Edwards, saying that he needs to get his teammates more involved, saying that you know he just can't always look for a shot, and he did do it like right after he made those comments for a few games. So I'm not mad at that Edwards over assist look. Superman likes Jakob Pertl blocks and assist over. I don't have any reason to talk you off of that. And JB Brown likes the Wolves money line. Superman also liking Carl Anthony Towns turnovers over. Raven Ron Holland with the Wolves. So a lot of people liking the Wolves. I don't think I've seen one person say they like the Raptors. And that assist prop for Edwards is 3.5. So I do like that. So after further review, if I'm playing anything on this Minnesota Raptors game, it'll be Edwards over 3.5 assists, or it will be Scotty over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And I forgot to change the banners there. It's a lot of multitasking, so bear with me. I apologize. Next game up, 519, 520, OKC versus Chicago. Opened up Bulls -1. They're now a 2.5 point favorite. Total open 228, down to 225.5. I see on the injury report. I mean, we already know Lonzo's out for the season. So we have Kenrick Williams, Jalen Williams, both listed as out for I know there's two Jalen Williams. So the one with the Y, the center, he's listed as out. How I feel about this, and this is keeping it extremely simple. I know that OKC has gotten a lot better over the years. I know they're gonna have Chet back right now, but I'm not ready to back them to just go win games straight up like this on the road. I don't view the Bulls as some big juggernaut, but I just feel like I trust more of the players on that side of the ball than I trust on OKC, and they're at the house. So in a pick'em type game where I feel like that, I'll lean towards the Bulls. And one couple things I'll mention as far as props are concerned. The same thing I said about the coach challenging Anthony Edwards. The coach for the Bulls kind of said like he wanted Vucevic to be more of a playmaker, and he was operating like in that high post when they was doing like a maybe like a dribble handoff or something like that. So I like Vucevic, or I would be leaning toward. I don't even know what the number is, but when I think about that, I think they continue to build on that, and I'll be looking at his assist prop in this one. If I was playing anything like that, and lean towards the Bulls. What you thinking, Dream?
Uh, Nothing too strong on this game, but if you're looking for like some I wouldn't even call them blow money bets, but just like maybe like plus 155, plus 200. So I would look in Chet Holmgren's direction. You can get his 3 blocks, I think, at plus 155. He averaged 2 blocks in the preseason. Played 4 games. I don't think he played more than 25 minutes in any of them. And he had 3 blocks in 2 of those games. So obviously he's tall as shit, so that could be a good look. And maybe his 3 points, his 3-point 2 threes is plus 220. So that's about all I will look. I got nothing else too strong about that game. That's still playable right now.
I apologize, bro. Whose threes was that?
Chet.
Okay, Chet. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. I want to see him like in a real game first, but I'm not mad at you for playing that. Um, Couple comments. Volbeck says, Ski, do you recommend playing props on players that played in any offseason tourneys like the FIBA stuff going on and whatnot? Like I played AR-15 props because of that. You would expect them to be in more of a rhythm, I guess, but no, I don't specifically, target players just because they played overseas. But I wouldn't expect them to be rusty. I would say that. Rick White, going back to what I said, he says, are you still riding with Nicola over PRA or assistant rebounds? I'm gonna look at the numbers, but I think it's the it, I think it will continue into this year, is what I'm trying to say. Casey says she likes Vucevic PRA and his assist. Superman like in DeRozan steals over. Let's see. Keith C. He likes Giddy rebounds, 7.5 over. Sean Evans likes Victor over 2.5 blocks plus money. I think that's on the other game. A couple more comments. People agreeing with Vucevic assists. And Casey's reminding us Vucevic assists started at 2.5 last year too. He was smacking. Yeah, they had to keep raising it because he was killing it after coach made them comments. So those are ways that I'm looking in this game, and we'll keep it moving here. Next game up. Let me hit the banner. We're gonna go 521, 522. New Orleans Pelicans heading into Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. Open Grizzlies -1.5. We now see it as a pick'em game. Total open 227.5, and we're looking at 224s across the board, 224.5 across the board. Let me actually refresh the injury report just to make sure. I do know for the Grizzlies, they will be without the services of John Morant, Brandon Clark, Steven Adams, and Santi Aldama. Um, so a lot of people missing for this Grizzlies team. And for the flip side, Pelicans will be without Alvarado, Marshall, and Murphy. I think the people that Memphis are missing, it, it's going to hurt them a lot more than whoever the Pelicans are missing. When I look at this game, you got Marcus Smart coming over there to play point guard for Memphis. I mean, he's not even a real point guard. If, just how I view the point guard position. So I'm not expecting him to go over there and get everybody involved. I just I don't see a whole lot to like with this Memphis roster. I look on the other side. I feel like it's a lot to like for the Pelicans. I mean, it's the same starting five that they had last year, so you have some continuity, even though some guys were hurt, throughout the course of the season. I know Ingram only played 45 games. Zion only played, handful of games. And they still managed to win 42. So I just think, like, who's stopping Zion down low tonight? Jaren Jackson probably gonna foul out. I'll be willing to bet Jaren Jackson foul out in this game, especially with the lack of big men down there to help him out. I really feel like the advantage on the inside goes to the Pelicans. I trust Pelicans guard play more. I don't understand why they're an underdog in this one. I'm really close to taking the Pelicans, kind of similar to how I was liking the Nets there earlier. I think they are the right side in this game. And Jay's asking, is Zion playing? He's listed in the expected lineup right now. So I'm expecting him to be out there. And if only way I could play this game would be the Pelican side. You like anything Pelicans and Grizzlies, Dream?
Like something, but I'm probably not gonna put it in because I have too much stuff out there. But I just feel like CJ McCollum's assists are too low. I agree with everything you're saying. I think the Pelicans, who were already a decent team last year, are getting a big boost back with Zion. You still got Ingram, who I think is gonna come out with a little chip on his shoulder because he expected to play well and be one of the top guys from Team USA, and he ended up like getting benched and all that. So I think he's going to come out and have a really good year. So I think you got that three-headed monster there, and I don't think CJ McCollum. I think he's going to be taking on more of a point guard role. I don't think he's going to be putting up a bunch of shots because he won't be needed to. So I didn't dig deep enough to play it, and I already feel like I got too much out there. But if I was playing anything for this game, it'd have to be CJ McCollum over his four and a half assists. And this last night on DraftKings, when I was looking at it, it was minus 105. So yeah.
All right, I like it. I like that play. Couple people in the chat. Sean Evans says Ingram has gone over. He says Ingram over 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Says it hit 11 of the last 15. And Keith C also agrees, like an Ingram points, rebounds, and assist over. Only thing I'll say about that is a lot of those games probably didn't have Zion in there. So Zion might hurt a couple of those stats that you might need. Casey says Memphis had Rose running point and he looked good. I didn't see Smart on ball. You got faith in this Memphis team? That's what I want to know, Casey. Do you have faith in them tonight? That's what I really want to know. But I hear what you're saying about Rose running the point. Maybe I didn't think about that too much. And she says Tillman's going to get some burn tonight. Superman says, I'm trying to figure out who's stopping Zion. Nobody. If he's, nobody, he should be eating in that paint. That's how I feel like. That's that Warrior says Pelicans are past. Golden Eagle says, yeah, the Pelicans are winning that game. Not sure why they are. Pick them. Boofer says, Zion isn't a reason for me to ever bet on the Pelicans. And Casey says, Zion assists 2 over 3.5, similar to Ant. So I pretty much agree with the way people are viewing this game. I would only look towards the Pelican side. I don't love that Ingram prop though, but I'm likely. I think I might have a small play on the Pelicans before the day is over. All right, let's keep going here. Let's keep going here. Next game up, 523, 524. We're going to look at the Kings heading into Utah to take on the Jazz. Game open Kings -1. 1.5 point favorite currently. Total open 241. Seen a 7 point drop. Consensus line is 234. So people liking the under in this game quite a bit. Let's take a look at the injury report for Utah. I don't see anybody on there for Sacramento. It looks like Chris Duarte is game time decision, and Trey Lyles will be out. My first thought when I saw this game on the schedule was, why the hell are the Kings only a 1 point favorite? Like they look really damn good last year. They showed they're capable in the playoffs. They should be building on that. They're still a young team. They should be building on that performance. Then I doubled back and I was like, Utah did get off to a hot start last year, so I started to look at them. Markings look really good over there. Kessler, I feel like Kessler's like another Rudy Gobert for them. So they found their replacement for him, and they're not even tripping by losing him. I like that they still have Clarkson over there. Um, and I feel like THT, even though I'm not the biggest on him, he has some stuff to prove. I'm not the biggest John Collins guy, but it gave me a little bit of hesitation just thinking about this Jazz team. I don't think they're going to be a pushover. You can just walk all over this Jazz team. So I didn't get there with the Kings, but I still would rather take them than Utah. And if I was thinking about props here, um, let's see. Laurie Markkinen is probably the most consistent. I don't see anybody stopping him on that Sacramento team. So probably his points over. Uh, Jordan Clarkson, I might want to play whether it's points or threes or something like that. I feel like he can be getting buckets in this game. And on the flip side, I'll be honest with you. Sabonis, what were we playing last? I don't really remember. I think we were playing his assists. I know he was killing it, but they ended up raising it. So I don't know what his numbers are. If his assist prop was fairly low, I might look at it. But I'm leaning towards the Kings, and I think they can. Like I wouldn't be betting an under. I get maybe just because it was the highest total on the board. But I think these are two teams who can get up and down and play a higher scoring game. So I guess at the current number, I'd be willing to buck it, or not willing, but I'll lean towards bucking it and going over, lean towards Sacramento and a couple of those other props that I named. You liking any props between the Kings and the Jazz? Are you liking the side, Dream?
Yeah, that's one of the few games that I took a side on, man. I just couldn't pass up the Kings. I loved what I saw out of them last year. Even in the series that they lost to Golden State, I felt like they showed a lot of heart. And I feel like if De'Aaron Fox didn't get hurt, basically on the shooting hand, they probably would have won that. I mean, it took Steph to score 50 game 7 for them to lose that series. So I think when you lose like that, you coming up, and Steph just beat them in a preseason game on the buzzer beater for what it's worth. I think when you a team like that, a team that people didn't respect last year, that came out of nowhere, and you showed yourself to be okay in the playoffs, I just don't see that team taking a step back. I think it would be a huge disappointment for them to come out and lose their first game of the season to a team that wasn't even a playoff team last year. I do understand that Utah is getting a year better, just like Sacramento's getting a year better, but I just think Sacramento has better players. They got another year in their system, and it does kind of make me a little scared because they're on the road. But if you're going to be a good team, fuck a great team. Just if you're going to be a top 6 team in the West, you got to win games like these. If you losing the first game of the season to the Jazz, who's probably not going to make the playoffs again, then you're just not going to be what you're planning on being, what you work toward being all season. So I say all that to say this. I took the Kings money line minus 122. It's minus 125 right now. Still like it there. And as far as props, I gave out 2 futures. I'm not sure where they still are at, but I'm sure they're not too crazy. Walker Kessler to lead the league in rebounds, plus 1,700. And I gave out Durant as well, plus 4,400. Those are both on FanDuel. So that's all I got for that.
All right, good stuff on that, Dream. A couple comments I want to touch on here. Um, well, I read those. Boofer, I appreciate you keeping me on this. Jamie Brown says his top play is the Kings money line. Jay likes Keegan Murray over 29 points. And Boofer says, jazz up that like button, Kings. Says Skee needs over 80. I appreciate you, Boofer. And yes, if you guys are enjoying the show, hit the like button for me. It does help me out a lot. Much appreciated. A couple more comments. KC or Jay says he's a Kings fan. They always play Utah close. Casey's liking the rookie shooter off the bench for the Kings. Says he can hoop. She's liking what they're doing over there. Superman saw Sabonis assist at 6.5, and he says he's going to roll with it. Chris H, he likes THT under 6.5 assists, minus 120 on DraftKings. Says he likes it a lot. Dom asking me a question here. The wager talk package that you provide, can use it a couple of pictures, the volume picks. I put everything that I play there. So everything if I'm talking about playing something here, is going to be on there. As soon as I make the bet myself, I put it there. And the past couple years, it's been volume. Last year, I probably had 1,200 plays, a little bit over 1,100. But if you're a person who likes lower volume, you can only play the higher ones. I know I was hitting my last like 87 should be because I lost yesterday, a little less than 80% on my top plays. But it's going to be volume, but you can pick if you're not a volume player. Casey says 6.5 is sweet because he ain't going to test Westler a lot. So she likes Sabonis to be swinging the rock versus trying to score. I agree. And Patrick, I like this comment. He says, Grizz at home. We will be rolling. We haven't had Adams in 2 seasons. Whoop that trick. I like that comment. Um, Sean liking or leaning Barnes over 12.5 points. So a few different ways you can look in that game. Dream feels pretty strong about Sacramento. I also lean that way. And we've talked about some prop looks that we can potentially get to the window with. Two more games on the slate. This is a pretty big one. We've been on for almost an hour now, but let's get through it. 525, 526. Dallas Mavericks heading into San Antonio to take on the Spurs. Open. Mavs -5. We see them now as a 4-point favorite. Total open 228.5. And we've seen an increase as high as 231.5. Um, let's take a look at the injury report here for both teams. For Dallas, I did see Luca game time decision. His calf, I believe, or something like that. Hardy is game time decision. Dwight Powell is game time decision. For the Spurs, it looks like Zach Collins game time decision, and Devontae Graham will be out. This is I'm gonna keep this one very simple. Um, it's Wembenyama's first regular season game. Everybody know how hyped he's been. I just feel like in these kind of scenarios, when you have that kind of player coming in to play their first game, they're gonna like the refs are probably gonna call a little bit of extra fouls, help him out. Like he's gonna be juiced up to play. His teammates are gonna try to get him going to have a great first game. Like this is the beginning of your legacy type game. So I would only look towards Wemby over his PRA or even maybe just his rebounds. You can maybe play his points if you like. I think you have to bet on him in some way, shape, or form if you're playing a player prop in this game. Um, that's just how I feel. And other than that, this Mavs team, it's hard for me to trust him, especially if you tell me that Luca has a calf injury. I don't feel strong enough to be laying these points with them on the road. I've seen plenty of times Luca, come into the season not looking that great. Mavs maybe struggling a little bit to start the year. I just don't have a whole lot of confidence in them here tonight. So and the market is going against them too. Maybe it was just because of the injuries, but I wouldn't feel comfortable laying with the Mavericks. I would only, I guess, lean towards Spurs +5, but more than that, I like Wembenyama props. Are you on Wemby 2 Dream, or how are you looking at this one?
Yeah, man. Definitely on Wemby in a lot of ways, but just on like blunt money bets and parlays. Didn't put in a straight bet with him at all. But I'm backing everything you're saying, man. I don't know who's going to guard him on Dallas. Dallas don't have any defenders. They got Maxi Kleber, goddamn Bertrons. They got a rookie from Duke who really wasn't that good for Duke last year with Derek Lively. So Wembyana going to be looking at them like they food. So I couldn't talk you off his points. I like his threes because I think he's going to get up 7 to 9 threes, and his 3-point prop, I think his twos like +155, +160. Just for him to hit two, and he's gonna get a bunch of threes, and if anything, they're gonna let him shoot because he's fucking 7 foot, whatever. So obviously his blocks. I agree in all ways, shapes, and form with Wemby. And that's about it. I don't got no other feeling besides that.
All right, fair. So we pretty much on the same page. We want Wimby tonight. We think he's gonna have a game, and people in the chat feeling the same way, except for B-Lo. B-Lo's the only person in here who says fade Wimby. So we'll see how that one shakes out tonight. Either way, you probably want to be watching that game. We have one more game left in the association for tonight, and that will be 527, 528. We're looking at the Portland Trailblazers heading into LA to face the Clippers. I hate saying that. I didn't even want to get it out of my mouth. Wish the Clippers could just move. I mean, it opened -9.5 for the Clippers. We see -9 pretty much everywhere. Total open 230 and as low as 226. Looks like that's the consensus number right now. Injury report for both of these teams. Wainwright for Portland out. Looks like Bones Highland is game time decision for the Clippers. They will be without Terrence Mann and Primo. Um, First game of the season, 9-point favorite for the Clippers. There's no way that I could be laying this with them. Um, for one, I just don't have a lot of confidence in them to win by margin. You guys know, and Dream is on here, so he's gonna be able to go the other way. You guys know how I feel about Russell Westbrook already. He's in that starting lineup on the other side. I'm not. I'm not expecting that team to do too many great things throughout the course of the season. And you guys also know how I feel about the Clippers in general. So I could be biased here. I'm being 1,000% honest with you. I'm not going to bet it because I feel that way. But this Portland roster, when I look at it, I feel like they can compete. Scoot, you know, he's going to be great. They gave up Dane because they like what he's bringing to the table. Simons, he showed that he's a bucket. He can compete too. Jeremy Grant, he's good. Aiden, he gets a new start, so he has something to prove. I think Portland stays within the number in this game. I'm gonna be real. So lean Portland +9. If I'm playing any props, I'm not playing any props in this game. Portland +9 would be the only way that I would look. You back in your boy Rest tonight? What you doing, Dream?
And now for the end portion. Number twice in the preseason. I think he had 16 and 20 in 2 out of 4 games this preseason. Again, not playing a lot. It's going to be tough for anybody to stay in front of. But one thing we can both agree on is our guy Ruff is not staying in front of nobody. If anything, he's going to try to slap the ball from behind with a blocker still. Also, he might commit some dumb fouls and a penalty. Basically, easy buckets for Scoop. So I love Scoop Henderson tonight. Couldn't talk you off of all of his props, but I definitely like his points. And I played his points at 12.5, 13.5 is fine. But one of my favorite bets of the night, Zubac. You can just play his double-double, but I played his over 8.5 rebounds at -130 on DraftKings. Shop around. So against this Portland team last year, Zubac had a double-double in all 3 games. And against Ayton last year, he had a double-double in 2 out of 3 games. So I don't see Ayton being that much of a stopgap between Zubac getting 10 boards, and I think he can get 10 baskets. So I love his rebounds, and I could not talk you off that double-double at +205 on DraftKings.
All right, good stuff from Dream. And I might have fat fingered it on YouTube because Dream had me laughing with the way he was starting, and I hit the mute button. But we got it figured out. They said tighten up, Skee. My bad, man. It's a lot of multitasking. I'm doing the best I can. I'll get better at doing it. Casey says, "Tell Dream start over." You know what Dream was talking about, Casey? He put on the cape for his boy Westbrook to start the start the breakdown. But good stuff. We went through the entire card. Booper says that was spaces only content. Yeah, we went through the entire card. I like a lot of things today. Some I've already played. The ones that I played, obviously the Wager Talk subscribers have them, but I did put the ones I played overnight or the ones I've had available. I put them up for my members just because it's been a while since we've done this YouTube. I've been lacking a little bit on the member thing, so you guys got the plays I locked in, and I'm gonna do my best right now before we get to best bet section to just rattle off ways that I'm looking or still considering that I might still get there with at the end of the day. So, um, going down the list, ones I'm still considering that Indiana game. I'm thinking about playing on Hallie. That double double that Dream mentioned was looks like a pretty good bet right there. The Houston game, I think it was Shingun, but I'm actually gonna stay off of that one. The Brooklyn game, I will be on Ben Simmons. Actually, let me go look at that right now. I don't want to give you guys something that I'm not locking in. So bear with me to sign in and get this prop. Or if anybody could help me out and just let me know what the number is for Ben Simmons over his rebounds and assists. I think it's 13 and a half, but I just don't want to give a still number. And like I said, I'm doing a hell of a lot of multitasking right now. So Dream, by chance, do you remember what rebounds plus assists was for Simmons?
No idea. Didn't even look at it. I would assume it's 12 and a half, 13 and a half, just off the top of my head.
Says 13 and a half on DraftKings.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make that a play. Um, that will be a play for me. Just so you guys know, I like that one quite a bit. I like that Duran look that you guys mentioned. Um, see a couple more here. Ones that stood out to me. There was a 6.5 assists. I think it was Sabonis. Looking towards playing that. Wemby is also a look here, and teams that I'm still leaning on: Brooklyn, New Orleans, Portland. I don't think I'll get to the window of Sacramento. So those other three are still possibly live for me to get to the window. We'll see if I get there at the end of the day. And like I said, we've got through every game so far. So it's about that time where we do best bets. Before I do that, I do want to remind everybody that if you want to follow every play that I have, they are up and available right when I make them at wagertalk.com. I still will do these shows every day and go through all these games. But if you want them right when I place them, that's where you find them. And my $2 Tuesday play goes today. So with that said, my best bets for today, a lot of these lines have moved. I can't give you everything. So I'll roll with Ben Simmons over 13 and a half rebounds plus assist as one. And secondly, I'll say like this. Um, I can't the total has moved on the Indiana and Washington game, even though I still think it goes over. Um, Hawks, I'll give you two just because this one is juice, but I really like the Hawks today. I think they're the right side. It's just tough for me to give them to you because I played them minus 135 and it's now minus 160. But as I explained earlier, implied probability wise, the situation that I gave you in the breakdown, it's about a 69% edge, and minus 160 is about 62% implied probability, somewhere around there, just doing the quick math in my head. So Ben Simmons over 13 and a half rebounds plus assists. And see, Lucky Power saying it's 14 and a half now. Other people saying think it's 13 and a half. Um, so I hate to hold the show up, but I'm gonna do it because I don't want to give anybody, a bet and I can't put it in. It's just I'm trying to do a lot of these shows. I'm doing the spaces, the YouTube, this on the side. So bear with me for 1 second while I get it. But Dream, you got a best bet for the people? Anything you would like to share?
Yeah, for sure. I got a couple that I'm pretty sure are current. Like I said, a couple of these moved. But Josh Hart over his 5.5 rebounds, you should be able to get that at a better price than I did. I got it at minus 130. It's minus 120 last time I checked. I love Zubac over his 8.5 rebounds. Hopefully that's still at minus 130. I played at minus 135. If not, just play his double double at plus 205. And those are my two best bets.
All right, good stuff, Dream. And I do see a 13.5, so I'll go ahead and lock that in as my best bet. And I'm rolling with the Hawks as well. So gave you guys best bets for the show, told you guys directions I'm looking. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, hit the like button for me and do subscribe so you guys know whenever we are live. In the chat, you guys are awesome. I say it all the time. I didn't say it yesterday, I don't think, but this show is nothing without you guys. A lot of great information. You guys make it entertaining. And it's all love from me to you guys. So appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll continue to do this show every day. And I'll catch y'all again tomorrow. Best of luck on all your action.